In first and second grade, students continue to explore with subtraction, but they start to explore with subtraction with some increased ranges. In first grade, they're exploring with subtraction within 100, and then in second grade, it jumps up from within 100 to within 1,000. So you see here, there's a couple examples of what that might look like. Just some subtraction expressions, the green ones there, aligned to first grade within 100, and then the blue ones there aligned to second grade within 1,000. Just like we had a friendly number over strategy for addition, where we can kind of think we go over, we do a little too much, and then we readjust, we can also use that strategy in that same model for subtraction. Another reason that these strategies are really great for reasoning. It's not a lot of extra rules or a lot of extra procedures to memorize. We sort of have one framework for how we reason, how we think, how we represent that, and we can apply that to lots of things. So we'll jump right in with this first grade subtraction example. Just like with addition, we'll do this on an open number line. Instead of starting on the left, I'm going to start on the right though. The way that we'll interpret subtraction for this strategy is sort of a removal way of interpreting. We'll start with 67 and we're going to remove 29. We're going to jump back 29, see where we are, and that will be the difference to 67 minus 29. The first thing that I want to do as I'm thinking about how this strategy might work is sort of focusing on the number that we want to take away. And I notice, and the reason that this strategy might work well or is advantageous with this example, is that 29 is really close to 30. And subtracting 30 from 67 would be a lot easier than subtracting 29 from 67. So instead of subtracting 29, I'm going to go ahead and just subtract 30. This is going to get me close, and it's going to get me close using a number that requires no regrouping, no moving of the ones and the tens around, so that I can get there a little bit more mentally. 67 minus 30 is 37. So we found that friendly number, 30. We removed that friendly number, but we removed too much. We went over. We went a little too far. I was supposed to take away 29. I took away 30, so now I have to think, and the open number line gives us a great way to see that. How do I manipulate? If I took away too much, do I either need to keep going and take away more, or do I need to take away a little bit less? Well, I took away too much, so I need to take away a little less. I'm going to move back 1, because I took away 1 too much, and then 1 to the right, or adding 1 to 37, gives me 38. So 67 minus 29 is 38. All right, we'll look at that again. Another example here, 83 minus 38. This is also aligned to first grade. We're dealing within 100. So we start with 83, but then we look for, and I notice here again that this is really close to 40. 40 is a much more friendly number. Taking away 40 is a little more friendly than taking away 38. So I'll take away that 40. 83 minus 40 is 43. But then we just have to sort of ask that same question again. How much too much did I take away? And I took away too much. So in this case, I'm going to go back to the right 2. I'm going to add 2 to 43. That gives me 45, which means our difference is 45. So again, the idea here is we find a more friendly number to take away. In this specific application of using a friendly number, we're looking for a friendly number that's over, one that's higher, one that's more than we're supposed to take away. And then so at the end, we make that adjustment to find what the actual difference between the two numbers we started with is. All right, again, this works really well because as we increase the ranges of numbers, in second grade we jump up to 1,000, in third grade we jump up to 10,000. The strategy and model, the reasoning, the way we represent the reasoning, it still works. So we'll start with 268, and we know we need to remove 139. But I notice this 139 is really close to 140. And 140 is a more friendly number to take away than 139. If I remove 100, that gives me 168. If I remove the other 40, that gives me 128. 8. We could have even represented it that way if we wanted to. We could have first taken away 100 and then taken away 40. We could have shown that in 2 steps if we needed to as we were reasoning. At first in 2nd grade, students might need to make a couple jumps, ultimately still landing in a place that's over. We still took away 140, so it's still the over strategy. But either way, these are much more friendly numbers than our initial 139. So we end up at 128, and then we just go back and ask, well, we took away too much, so how much too much did we take away? We took away 1 too much. So we're going to make that adjustment of 1 more than 128 is 129. So there we have that difference. For our last one, another 2nd grade example, 826 minus 318. So we start at 826, but then we just kind of look, well, what would be a more friendly number to take away? Again, in this case, one that's a little bit more, one that's a little bit over. I'm going to take away 320. Far more friendly number to take away. If we take the 300 away, that would be 500. Taking the 20 away makes it just 506. Again, the idea with these reasoning strategies is we're modifying and manipulating them just enough that it makes it a little more friendly, a little more easy to do almost mentally. We go back again in our last step and we ask, well, how much too much did we take away? In this one, we took away 2 too much, so I'm going to make that adjustment of 2 to the right, or 506 plus 2 is 508. So 826 minus 318 gives us 508. And so that's applying that friendly number over strategy to subtraction in 1st and in 2nd grade.